What's up, everybody? Nick the Comic Nerd here. I am doing Nick's picks from the last 2 weeks because I've been absent. And then I'm going to do Nick's Nerd Word. So I only have like 8 books to review, but all pretty cool. So I wanted to show you guys. The only other thing I'm doing, just give me a second. My May Grand Slam giveaway is live for a whole nother week. So I want you guys to be able to jump in on that. Just give me a second. Okay. Let me just type this out. Grand Slam giveaway. Entry video. Be sure to enter that. It's free to enter. There you go. If you just click that one, that's the link to it. And yeah, let's dive into these. So I'm going to show you the books I got 2 weeks ago. Kind of back on track now, thankfully. It took a while, but I'm here. Very happy to be here. So yeah, I figured do both videos at once, try and knock this out in about 20 minutes. And then I got to run to work. So first up from 2 weeks ago, Ghost Rider 14. Cool cover. Extreme Venomverse number 1. Venomverse. Love this cover. I love this cover because I'm pretty sure that's going to be Dylan Brock on the bottom. So, could be wrong, but hey, who knows? So, what's up, Bobby? Thanks for stopping by. Darth Vader number 34. What's up, Legion? We are Legion, everybody. Daredevil of Devil 11. I love this cover. This was a really cool read, the first one I got. So this is Frank Miller Presents The Ancient Enemies. So the first one I read and reviewed was The Genie. I thought that was really good. This is The Wrath and Sun. Excited to read this. It's super cool. These are kind of like dark and twisted, but we'll see. It looks pretty good. Excuse me. Nocterra 14. Love the cover, obviously. Probably going to read this real quick right after this. Clear number 3. So I keep telling you guys, I've been really confused with Clear. If this issue doesn't make things a little bit more, I'm not going to say enjoyable, but if I don't understand what's going on after this issue, like if things aren't clear, get it, I'm probably done, which sucks because it seems great. You guys know I love Scott, but I just think there's way too much going on. It's hard to follow up with. Yeah. And then I grabbed the hardcover of 10,000 Black Feathers by Jeff Lemire. I got the first issue of this from Marvelous Comics. And when I read it, I thought it was really, really good. And it also won me the cover title on The Hunt. So that was really cool. So that was from 2 weeks ago. This is from this week. This is from this past Wednesday. So this is House of Slaughter 15. Great cover. The Butcher's Return Part 5. I'm almost fully caught up on House of Slaughter. I dove through the box a few weeks ago, and I started reading a lot. It'll make sense when you see what I have. Another Frank Miller Presents. This is Pandora. Pretty cool looking. I like Frank Miller stuff. It's been good. Masters of the Universe, Masterverse number 4. Great cover. He-Man and some new battle armor, along with Battle Cat and some new armor. Super dope. Venom 19. This is going to be a Gold Goblin battle. It's crazy to think how Venom, before this whole new run, had great covers, and now I think these covers suck. I think the story hasn't been good. And I was on Simple Simon's channel for Show and Tell, and Omnibo from the Owsieverse showed his girl painted a picture of Venom, and I was like, that should have been on the cover of one of the Venoms because it blew all the other covers out of the water. Batman Hunters 34 was just so cool. Go check that out if you can on Simple Simon's channel. Valence has the Terminator look back. Pretty good. I feel like we've been waiting for that. I grabbed 2 issues of Guardians of the Galaxy number 2 because I loved both of these issues. I believe this was the A cover. Really nice Gamora cover. And I grabbed the Spider-Verse variant. of Rocket and Groot. Cool to see them with the Spider-Man logo in the middle. Hey, Phil. Thanks for stopping by. Batgirls number 18. Batgirls is an issue I want to catch up on, and I'll explain kind of why it's hard to. Because we're here. All of the new DC stuff. These are all new issue number one. Not new all issue number ones from DC, but all the new DC stuff. The Dawn of DC has been very, very good, and I keep saying it. I'm not going to stop saying it because I'd be a liar if I didn't say that. So yeah, I dove into three new books from the Dawn of DC this week. So I grabbed Batman: The Brave and the Bold number 1. Great cover. Very interested in reading this. This is I wasn't gonna, and then I checked it out. Yeah, Tom King does a story, Ed Brisson, Christopher Cantwell, and Dan Mora. So I was like, I can't not. But very excited to read that. I've been saying, like, last year I was on Gary B's channel, and he was like, what would you change about Titans if you could? And I said, I want Cyborg. And Cyborg number 1 came out. And I was like, I'm not going to pass up on Cyborg number 1 because I've been saying how I want a Cyborg run again. So Batgirls is about to be wrapping up. That's sad. DC is crushing it 100%. Tom King's story in the front is ridiculously good and legit terrifying. Very cool. What's up, Daniel? Thanks for stopping by, dude. Cyborg 1 was really fun. Awesome. Very excited. Superboy, Man of Tomorrow number 2. I told you guys, I dove into this thinking this would be a John Kent story. You'll see in a minute. But this is not. This is oh man, what was his name now? This is actually the Superboy story, which is really good. I enjoyed issue number 1 a lot. I think I reviewed it already and loved it. So Connor, that's his name. Connor, Superboy's Connor. Superman number 4. This has been fantastic. This is a great cover. Very excited to read this. Cut down by the Kryptonian Claw. Going to be excited to see what this one does. I think the Superman run is one of my favorite things so far. Yeah, I didn't love the suit, like his whole getup, but it works because it separates him from the other Supermen, and I'm super okay with that. See what I did there? But yeah, I'm really happy with that. And then I wasn't going to get this, and again, it's a Tom Taylor book, and I was like, I'm not going to skip Tom Taylor during DC priming things up right now so well. And I would never skip the Titans book. So I grabbed Titans number 1. So very, very, very excited. But yeah, Haley's on the cover too, which is cool. We only had this. This is the B or C cover. This is the only option we had in my LCS. I wasn't mad about it. I would like issue cover A, but got what I got, and I'm not upset about it. So that was Nick's picks from last week and this week. Again, really excited to read a lot of these. It's cool because I told you guys I keep putting like issue number 1s and things I'm caught up on in front of my old back order reads just to stay on top of it and to like hold conversation with other people. Like I'm gonna try and read these at work and then watch end of week for Legion of Comics tonight, and hopefully be able to have a conversation in the chat about everything going on with DC. Titans, what a first issue. Already beating the tails of the team's Titan book that won't even start until like August. They're leaning into Titans heavy. Very cool. Yeah, I love it. I almost finished the series now. I think I'm like 2 episodes behind, so I'll have that finished tonight too, hopefully. So, all right, on to Nick's Nerd Word. So my reviews on the books I read the last 2 weeks, I'll say. I read a bunch of issues from Invincible. I'm going to finish that by the end of next week. Compendium number 1, I'm going to try and just cruise through number 2 as best I can. Yeah, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books, and some cool stories wrapped up for me, and then some new stories started. So let me just clear some space because my desk is a disaster covered in comic books. So I read Peacemaker Tries Hard number 1. I loved this. I love John Cena, and I never did anything with Peacemaker until the show, and I thought it was fantastic. And this is really funny. It opens up with Peacemaker in a supermarket with cake and protein powder, and he's going to try and host a party. It just says instant cake on the box. It just shows you what a moron he is because he really thinks like you just add water and there's a cake. But very funny, very good. He ends up going and doing a little quick mission for Amanda Waller. And while he's there, he finds this dog who he calls Bruce Wayne. He thinks it looks like it's got a tuxedo on, and he's not wrong. And then at the end of it, the Brain wants Peacemaker to work for him, and he takes his dog hostage. So I'm excited for issue number 2. Excited the way this is going to keep going. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. I'm going to keep it to the side because we have to do read of the week, worst read of the week, and covers. I just finished reading Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Usagi Yojimbo number 2. I love this cover. I think this is the second time around that these groups meet, because in this issue, the Turtles at the end of the first issue ended up in the universe of Usagi Yojimbo, and Leonardo knows him, so Yojimbo. So it's just, I'm sorry, Usagi. So it's just really weird because I was like, oh, okay, I guess I missed a whole volume of this, which is no big deal. I'm still going to finish reading this because I think it's really good. But it's cool that they all know each other, and they're going to team up and start fighting. So very good. And now it's almost like the mole people are attacking. So really well done. I'm excited that there's going to be a villain and that they're going to be real fighting now. So that's pretty cool. That was from, I think these were both from 2 weeks ago. World Tree number 1. I have that variant cover. It's not really a variant, but I have the cover that's too dark to see anything. It was the last one my LCS had, but I saw everyone talking about this, and I was like, I'll read it. The new James Tynion story. Really good. Super cool about, how do you describe this? So basically it's very culty, and how the internet can make you do things, and people are just going around killing each other because it's either that they believe it's their right to do it, or that they should do it, or it's that whatever this World Tree internet is telling them to do. And then at the end, you kind of you get the dialogue between the two characters who started World Tree and how they ended it and how they need to end it again now because somebody reopened it. So really interesting. Excited to read issue number 2. I got more out of this than I did out of Clear, which is kind of sad. But I thought this was really cool. So I'm going to put this. It was not a read of the week, but it was great. I recommend it. Check it out. Here I have The Adventures of Superman. So I finally really went and got my first John Kent story, like I was talking about a few minutes ago. So first John Kent story. I think this is like cover B or C. Really good. I think the John Kent stuff is great, to be honest. This opens up where Ultraman, who originally captured John Kent in Superman after the Man of Steel from 2019 or 20, which was my first rerun with Superman again, was Man of Steel into the new Superman run, which was 30 issues, and it was very good. John gets taken in that, and years go by, and Lois and Clark lose their time with John. All of a sudden, he comes back a teenager. They missed his middle years, which was really sad. And what happens is Ultraman is going around killing Clark Kent in other universes. And when he does, people can pick it up. So there's another Superman. I can't remember his name. It was some Tarzad, I think it was. I think it was Tar. Yeah. So he's another Superman from another universe. But it sounds like he's from General Zod, probably one of his spin-offs, but super cool anyways. And he tells John, we need you because this guy's going around killing Clark Kent and your dad is off planet. So great read. I was very excited, which instantly caused me to read issue number 2. I'm glad I got the A cover because I love these Dawn of DC titles. I think they look so good up top with all the different colors and stuff too. But issue number 2 is great. John decides to go. He's going to fight the Ultraman and go back to where he was. You get a little bit of a backstory of how he was in the volcano. He was kept in a volcano and didn't really do anything for all this time, and he was just held captive. So Valzad, that's what it is. He's a surviving Kryptonian from Earth 2, the new 52. Very cool. Hey, what's up, Trav? This was great because John decides he's going to fight Ultraman. And John in the first issue realizes he's having some power. All of a sudden he kind of gets lightning through him. He turns his light blue. And in this issue, you find out what it's all really about. So unfortunately, Valzad and his Lois get killed. And he's I'm going to fight Ultraman. And he's getting his ass kicked. And at the end of it all, he gets that power back again. And he defeats Ultraman, which is super cool. It was a great fight scene. For issue number 2 to have such a heavy battle, I thought was so great early on, leaving room for more in the upcoming issues. So this was great. I liked it so much that I read issue number 3, which was just as good. Not a great cover. This was the Val Zod one. And like I said, he's already gone, so it makes it kind of interesting. And what happens is now John Kent ends up in another community, and another Clark Kent kills Ultraman. He snaps his neck. Pretty sick, pretty dope. Really dark. And I'm sorry, that's at the end of issue number 2 that happened. That's at the end. So John is kind of like, oh, you killed him, because John doesn't know Supermen that kill people. So it's super crazy. And he brings him to like this new Clark Kent from another universe, brings him to this community, to this civilization where everything is like perfect and seems normal. But towards the end of it, John's like, yeah, I want you to show me the world that you've created. And all of a sudden, somebody accidentally like drops their baby out a window, or they slip out the window. It was weird. John catches them and ends up bringing them back to the top. And once they see John, because he looks just like their Clark Kent, they think like he sees that something's wrong, because they look terrified of him. And all of a sudden, Clark shows up, and John and him are talking, and John's like doing the dialogue in his head, and he realizes that they are terrified of their Clark Kent. So it sounds like it's kind of like a dictatorship, and that there's really nobody is free in that community and in that universe. So I think that's what issue 4 is going to bring, is John's next fight, and he's going to have to fight a Clark Kent of another universe. So again, really good. Very excited to read the next one. I like that more than I like Superboy so far. But I'm glad I caught up on those first 3 issues. I got those from Free Comic Book Days 2 weeks ago. Next up, DC vs. Vampires 11 and 12. So I finally finished it. Love both covers, to be honest. I love this one a lot. And I love the Green Arrow stuff lately. This book really made me love Green Arrow. So it's really cool to wrap these up and finally finish this run. I loved this. If the hardcover is out, I honestly might go get it and then do this as a giveaway, just because I thought this was so fun to read. With Nightwing being the like vampire king and everything, and all the characters who kind of could fight the vampire runoff and all that stuff. Really well done. Really cool finish. Where it comes down to Barbara and Nightwing. And it's really funny because there wasn't much of the relationship between Barbara and Nightwing in this. You'd have to read Batgirls or Nightwing for it to like all kind of line up well. And you see like that they're in love and that they're a couple and they're a thing. And she just wins him over and ends up, I believe the way it ended, if I remember, because I think I read this like 3 weeks ago, I think she becomes the vampire queen to get rid of him. And it's like the sacrifice she makes, but it's to save him. So at the end of the day, really cool. Loved the wrap up. Loved the whole thing of them getting there. They were able to bring all the teams together. They were able to save Supergirl. Because again, it was one of those things where like they just needed the sun back kind of deal, and it just wasn't happening. So pretty crazy. But I'm gonna use that. I neutralized it. And last but not least, I finished Do a Power Bomb. So this was issue number 7. This was the tag team of Sun and Steel versus God in Heaven. Super cool and super crazy. Really emotional finish, to be honest. So they have to tag team and fight God to see her mom again. That's what they want, because the necromancer who ran the whole tournament says like, oh, I really can't really bring her back. Maybe as a zombie. And he's like, you can fight God. Maybe he can do it. They don't beat God. They put up a really good wrestling match. Some really cool stuff goes down in this one. But at the end of it all, they lose. They get very upset, and they're just like, oh, wow, like, now we can't win. And God kind of has this talk with the daughter and basically explains to her, like, you know, your mom was always with you, this and that. And it shows some flashbacks to when the dad met the mom and when the moments that she saw her mom wrestle and stuff like that. So, yeah, this was fantastic. If you guys are into wrestling at all, even a little bit, read this. Read Do a Powerbomb. Daniel Warren Johnson killed this from start to finish. And the really cool thing about this was that at the end of the whole thing, her mom was in the crowd watching the fight in heaven, so that was really neat. So realistically, the mom saw her, but she didn't see her. She didn't see her mom, but she was there watching over the whole time. So super cool, super emotional, like I said. And yeah, that's what I've got for you guys. So those are all my books from the last couple of weeks that I read. Like I said, I'm still crushing this Invincible compendium. Finally, I'm like a year out of it and still haven't finished it, but I'm getting there. I don't have a worst read of the week. I liked everything a lot, and I haven't had that in a long time. I'm trying to slow down buying so much. Like I'm keeping a limit of money per week, and I'm going to try and lessen it a little bit to see if I can try and knock out a title or two. But right now, it's just really hard. The stuff is killing it, and the Marvel stuff is doing really well. Like it's not easy to just say, I'm not going to buy that anymore. My least favorite cover of the week, though, will be this one. This is Adventures of Superman, John Kent, #3. I just don't love the cover. Plus, this character was already gone at that point, and I just don't love covers that don't make sense with books. I have to say that. I think a lot of us are like that, which is a good thing. My cover of the week is TMNT Usagi Yojimbo, #2. I think the whole metal-looking Shredder from the Usagi universe, and then all the turtles with Usagi Yojimbo kind of lined up, like ready for battle. I think that's just a great looking cover. I envy the ability and time to keep up with weekly reading. I agree. I honestly usually end up reading during other people's live streams, but then it gets tough because like I'll watch between the lines and draw, but not read. So I lose that hour and a half to 2 hours, which is fine because I love to draw and I love watching that show. And then during like end of the week on Legion of Comics, I don't read because I'm paying attention to what's going on and what they're saying. Because obviously that has everything to do with the books that were out this week and movies and shows, like all of that stuff. So it's hard to read because I want to know what they're talking about. So I don't do it during that one. During Spine Ticks, I read a lot. Like I read like 8-ish. I think I read 6 of these last night during Spine Ticks. And then it's tough because I'll tell myself I have a box ready to go at work today, and I don't know if I'm going to be busy enough or dead enough at work to read. So that's where it gets tough. So yeah, I get it. Mark was telling me that he reads early in the morning. So I started doing that a few weeks ago, and then my hours changed at work, and now I work super early. So to get up even earlier is just really hard for me. I've been sucking and slacking, dude. My new hours are killing me. So, but I'll be back. Trust me. Tomorrow, take my word for it. I'll have something great for you. So, and then last but not least, my read of the week. Do a powerbomb to finish. Like I said, I think it was just so good. I think it was so cool the way the whole story was wrapped up. The artwork was phenomenal. The wrestling was phenomenal. There were really no repeat like moves used in any of the artwork, like the wrestling moves. So to see that they were able to bring it up and then see how it all just wrapped up and see that like even like Sun and Steel hit their finisher and got on like one, he kicked out, and that was it. So I just thought the whole thing was super, super cool. So very good. Loved, like I said, again, great week of reads, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it's been. So yeah, I wake up before the rest of my house and try to read the free and digital, then go buy the books once the shop opens. Exactly. Like it's just the way to do it. Free DC primer. Okay, I'll get it on Wednesday. Good to know. Oh wait, I have DC primer. I don't know why I thought that this was going to be like the what's coming out stuff. So I have DC primer. Woohoo! Cali Comics, what's up, dude? Tomorrow I'm doing an opening box from Cali Comics. I believe it's from him. Pretty positive. So be sure to check that out tomorrow morning. I'll do it. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out on Sunday. I will be back tomorrow. I'll probably be live doing a video. I don't have anything recorded right now. But that's what I got for you. So I appreciate you all. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification because I have no time on anything of what's going on. And yeah, so I hope everybody stays safe. Enjoy your comics.